Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Engineer's Cab, an explanation of all things to come, the ideas, the craziness, the wonder, the imagination, the preview for the season. So get comfortable, sit down, relax, and join me in the So, hello everybody. I just wanted to have a nice little sit down with you and talk about the Engineer's Cab series, as I have not really explained it, or even the direction of how or what or where or why, because honestly, I'm still determining that on my own. So, probably the easiest thing to explain to you right now is the Engineer's Cab, a short picture trip. Now, in this series, the whole idea is to basically share my screenshots from you since I purchased the game back in 2014, when it was Train Simulator 2014. As Train Simulator keeps going forward, it sure seems like basically they're following a yearly upgrade and yearly changes. So, in short, the Pictures series is just that. It is a compilation of all the pictures that I've taken. In fact, my hard drive space on pictures just for Train Simulator 2016 is somewhere near the 2.5 gigabit amount. So, and it just, to me, felt like it was a great way to share with you the exploration that I've had in the past over the last 2 years, and show you how much fun I've actually had with the game before I really started modding it. Now, on top of that, as I've already found out and tried just literally with an episode ago, there are a few pictures in my series that just, there's not enough of them. There's only 4 or 5 or 6 of them of the so-called engine, or even some of the repaints, as I started to do about maybe 6 months ago now, but time has been flying for me, so I can't really gauge that time period. So what I've decided to do to improve that series is add a little bit of video to it, of maybe bloopers or things that haven't shown up yet in the series, the Engineer's Cab formal series, and add that to the series as a little bit more flair, maybe more videos, maybe more construction into that avenue. Now, understand that I only have a limited amount of pictures, so basically once I've gone through the 2.5 gigabytes of pictures, that series will come to an end, and it probably won't be resurrected after that point. Also, there's a lot of repetition in that series, a lot of engines that I particularly like the most. I was doing some special pictures for my father, so I did a lot of Lehigh Valley stuff across almost all the maps. And one of the things that I plan on doing for the future is also adding more Lehigh Valley stuff to it, because in general I really enjoy the paint schemes that the Lehigh Valley had, and would have loved to have seen them go on. Now, concerning the Engineer's Cab formal series, where it's pretty much a video documentary of all the mods and repaints, and therefore going forward, the idea basically is to cover all the engine repaints that I can in the beginning. Most of the ones that I already currently have, plus adding in the additional ones as I pick them up, or depending on if they're a certain quality. Now, there are going to be a few repaints that I'm just not going to put up there, because I just don't feel that to myself that they do justice. Now, maybe a few of you others may be able to say, hey, I don't mind this so much, but there is a quality element to this as well. Now, also, when it comes to regards to that series, now the Engineer's Cab will expand as I figure out more and more of what the series is about, even discovering different things from you, the audience, and what the comments are made on it. Like, let's take, for instance, this first season here. Now, I chose the RS11 because the idea is if I can get you inspired just to even watch a couple of these episodes or a couple of these repaints, or even see the whole season. I mean, each individual repaint has some different aspect to it and some different pull. Now, I genuinely enjoy all the repaints. I mean, there's not one that I have not really been disgusted with, unless it's just so poor in quality. But the idea or the concept of moving into that realm is awesome, and I'm definitely going to be making some suggestions and improvements for people's repaints, but the focus will be on putting it out there for you guys to really see and hopefully enjoy, just like I do. Also, you're going to have different opinions from me, which ones are better, which ones are worse. Now, I'm trying to work on a somewhat grading scale when it comes to the overall review of each skin, but at the same time, I'm also trying to develop different avenues and different ways to look at things, because I mean, like, my choice, the number one pick was the RWA, but looking at like this engine that's currently up there, the Northern Pacific, it's a really well done skin as well. In fact, I will have many hours of enjoyment, but that's also because I'm more jaded. Not so much jaded, but influenced by the fact that I really like the railroads of the Northwest, and then they just showed me, I don't know how to explain it, but they were kind of the powerhouse in the mountains, where the East Coast has less mountains, but then there's some argument about that as well. So my goal in this is basically to hopefully inspire not only you, the audience, who really want to watch this, but maybe even potentially draw in other individuals who, maybe have a tingling or an interest in model railroading or simulated railroading, and show them a different way that could be exciting if you use your imagination, or maybe even create something that's totally different, then find out at some point that it was real. Now, I've been myself surprised already a few times by a few trains that I've created. I knew there used to be huge grain trains that go across the United States, from the grain plains, or whatever you want to call them, the plain states, to the north or northwest, or to San Francisco or LA, that are just huge, and had mid-train helpers all the way through it, and end-train helpers that were similar to some of the Canadian stuff in the early days, who at one point were the only ones who ran mid-train helpers and end helpers through Rogers Pass and so forth. But also to say, hey, there's nothing wrong with trying and creating different things or having different opinions. Like, my opinion is and my like is, I prefer heavy haul freight. Heavy haul freight to me just appeals to me for some reason. Moving people from place to place, not so much for myself, but I can also understand the appeal of the passenger train if somebody's been, next to the tracks for so long. I mean, one of the few engines that I thoroughly enjoy from the passenger series is the GG1, but then again, it was kind of used as a mix between freight and passenger service. So, there are definitely many opinions that we all have, and I just want to share mine and, potentially share yours as I get comments and so forth going forward. Now, definitely the idea of creating a series based on just showing you what the repaints and skins are like, how the sound modifications are. There are going to be tutorial offshoots. I've already created 2 of them, and hopefully I'll be able to create more. One of the things that I find that is lacking in Train Simulator 2016 is the ability to really show the customer or the gamer how to create his own layout, how to do some repaints, how to take what they've created and make it more personal to you, which I also find to be very innovative. Dovetail, and plus another game I play, Euro Truck Simulator 2, with SCS, both have allowed people to mod. Now, hopefully in the future, Train Simulator will allow easier modding of items, but they allow certain utilities, and it's really, really awesome, because what it does is it puts a bigger value on the product that you're buying, not only for the model railroader, but for the individual who wants to create his own thing. And with this series, it really is going to be a kind of a breakdown. Now, for the first couple seasons, I mean, we're talking probably 12 or so, the focus is definitely going to be on the repaints, the reskins, and then along with those offshoots that I was just talking about. A season will be broken down as this. every season will focus on an engine type. Like this one's the RS11, so you're getting all 12 of the available usable RS11 repaints. Now in the future I will come back and revisit the RS11 once I pick up the Lehigh Valley version of this one from Virtual Railroads, and then I'll do another season on it. So like another season will be based on, let's say, the SD40-2. Now the SD40-2 has a plethora of skins, so that one may have, you know, near 50 skin or 50 episodes because it has 50 skins in it. So expect the season to vary in length from episode to episode. The other goal is I'm trying to keep the maximum video length, even in YouTube as my channel, at 20 minutes. The overviews and the episodes for this series, the Engineer's Cab, I'm hoping to also keep below 15 minutes and actually around the 10-minute mark. So, you know, there are goals, there are hopes, there are dreams, and I really do hope you guys are going to enjoy this. And, you know, with what I've done here, trying to explain it a little bit more, hopefully you've been able to watch the video as well and see what's to come for this season. There is a sneak peek for the second season coming up, and that's at the end of this. And I guess the final thing is my hope is that I can release at least at minimum one episode per week. My actual goal is 3 of these episodes per week after the overview. So if there's an overview made, the initial season opener, then I'll need a week to put footage together and so forth. And my time editing is improving as well, where like with the first few episodes like this one, it's been taking me somewhere around 5 to 6 hours, maybe 7, to put together a single episode. So it's not a short period of time. Also the footage, now it took me literally, I think it was over 17 hours just to gather enough footage, and I didn't even try, you know, to do fancy things yet, and that's coming up, so I expect that number to kind of go up. So you're talking on average probably anywhere between 10 or 15 hours into an episode. Well, I hope I gave you enough information. I hope I explained enough things, and well, I hope you enjoy everything. So take care. And please like and subscribe things, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in the Engineer's Cab.